Ahabu Shalom, this is Watchman Yahshay, coming to you on behalf of Watchman Yahuwah and Spirit of Truth Ministries. And today, we are going to be learning the Alaph-Bayt, YAHUAH.
We some watchmen, you do the preaching. You need a 7-year Sabbath for your land where you meet teaching. Sad Sunday deceiving. We camped out for 7 days in Sukkot's feasting.
Alright, today we are here to learn the Alaph-Bayt of YAHUAH. And we're here to find out how to speak this tongue, because when it was called Hebrew, it had a derivative of Yiddish mixture type thing, and it wasn't what it was. So when we call it Abaryt, that's because we are the sons of Abaryt, which are the sons of Shem. Abaryt is the purest form of it. I'm going to teach you the Picto, Paleo, purest form of the Abaryt tongue. And the Alaph-Bayt, you must understand that it goes from right to left. Before we learn this, from right to left. It's not left to right like we write in the English. You also must know that there is no I, V, O, F, J, E, or W in the Alaph-Bayt. None of these. Or no IV of Jew. No IV of Jew. Just remember that. You don't get none of that. So this is gone. We got none of that. No I, V, O, F, J, E, W in this tongue. That must be remembered. Also, a key thing to remember. There is no Nikud system. For example, if we were doing modern Hebrew, give you the modern shin real quick, there would be a dot over the shin. Or if you had the ayin, they call it, there would be a dot. You get what I'm saying? We don't have that in here. This Nikud system was made up. It was made up to teach you or to break down. Actually, it was made up to make it difficult for you to learn the Abaryt tongue. So you will have there is no Nikud system in this. There is no dot system or point decimal system or point system. None of that. There is no Nikud system. I want to make that clear. You do not have these dots, or they call them nikudots system. There's none of that in here. So let's get rid of that. Okay, the first letter we're going to do the Aleph. The Aleph. It represents the ox head. It represents being strong, a leader. And it represents power. That's why it's in the word Elohim. Elohim is in the word Elohim. And we're going to look at these words. But right now, I'm going to write these down first. This is the Bayt. The Bayt. It represents tent or house. It represents family. It represents inn. The symbol is a tent floor plan, it's called, or a tent floor plan of a house. You see the way it's made. And it represents house, family, or inn. This is the Gamo. Gamo. And also, I'm gonna give the equivalent of these letters too. This represents an A. This simply represents a B. This represents the G. Gone. It represents a foot. It means to gather or to walk. The next one. It's amazing how a lot of these look like what it is, the dalet. It represents a D. The dalet. It represents a door. It represents to move, to hang. It also represents an entrance. That's why Yahusha said, I am the door. Hallelujah. The next one. The high. The high. It represents an H. It represents an H. Man with arms raised. It means to look, to reveal, or behold. That's why, hey, YAHUAH, behold the hand, behold the nails, or behold the nail, behold the hand. That's why it represents that. This one is the YAHUAH. The YAHUAH. It represents a U. It represents the U. They told you there is no vowels in the Hebrew. But I don't care, because that Nakud system is why they say it's no vowels, because they're using the Nakud system to get certain sounds. The Nakud system is false. The Nakud system is false. There are vowels, and this is one of them. This is you. You have an Aleph, which is a vowel. There's vowels in the Abaryt sound. This represents a tit pig. It means to add, to secure. And it also means a hook. The next one we're going to do is the Zayin. The Zayin. And you see what it looks like already. It represents a Z. It represents a mattock. A mattock is a pickaxe. It represents a pickaxe or mattock. It represents food. To cut or to nourish. I think I can get one more on here. I want them to sink in. I think I can get one more on here. And we'll do it at the bottom right here. This is the hot. Some people say chat. That's wrong. That CH makes a H sound. It makes an H sound. But when you spell it, I do put the CH. So you'll see that it belongs there. But it's actually another H sound, or hot. Hot. It's more guttural. A lot of people say they use it guttural, like hot, hot. But it represents that sound. It represents the tent wall. It represents the tent wall. It means outside. Divide. Or half. That's why YAHUAH's name starts with half. When she first started out, she was half of Adam. Before she was cast down and become lower than him, she was half of him. That's why why it's Alaph means side or half. It also means the half of YAHUAH is the beginning of her name. So I'm going to let that sink in for a second, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Hallelujah. And also, too, I want you to remember as we keep going through these letters that there are only 22 letters or 22 characters in this Alaph-Bayt. Also, that when we get to these words, you will see how these letters are only simply mean that. Yahuwah kept it simple. He says even his scriptures are so simple that even a fool can't err. His commands. So if that's the case, how can his letters be so complicated? They cannot. This is the original tongue. This was actually what was written on the original Abaryt manuscripts. We have to understand that. And this is tribal. This is what we call hieroglyphic or pictorial or pictographical. You have to see this in order to understand what the meaning of these words were. It was kept simple for a reason. And I believe that people over time change these things in order to hide it from us. Like I told you before, I was told that I would have to spend over $2,000 to learn the ancient biblical Hebrew when that should be ridiculous. It should be out for people to learn and get. But they're hiding things from changing this tongue, changing these letters, and we see the deception in it. So we're going back to the letters now. Hallelujah. The next one is the tot. The tot. It represents a T. It represents a T. It is a basket. It means to surround, to contain. And it also means mud. Mud. The next one we're going to look at, one of my favorite, Yud. 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 Arm. And hand. Hallelujah. It represents a Y. It represents a Y. Now, later on, we'll go into the E sound versus the Yah sound in the words. We'll get into that, but I want you to see what it represents first so we can break all this down and understand it. Work. It means to work, to throw, or to worship. Hallelujah. Pay attention to these. Write these down. Keep these. Because when we go into these words, when we go into Yahuwah's Paleo, and we go into the Shema, and we go into the Aaronic benediction, you're going to have to know this and understand this in order to get what we're breaking down. This is the next one. It's the cop. It's the cop. It represents a K. It represents a K. Open palm. It means to bend, to open, to allow, and to tame. The next one is the lamad or lamad. It's like a staff. It's to teach or to lead. That's why the Lamad Yahu calls himself Lamad Yahu, because it's like the staff or the teacher of Yahuwah. The lamad is used like a shepherd's staff to lead or to teach. The lamad, it represents an L. And that's exactly what it is. A shepherd's staff. To teach. See? A yoke. Take this yoke upon you, for my burden is easy, and my yoke is light. Hallelujah. 2. And bind. Yahuwah is our great teacher. Through Yahusha, the Torah, the Word, is our great teacher. The next one. Mayim. A lot of people say mem, but I say mayim. And I'm going to show you why. It represents the M, see? And I'm going to show you why it's mayim. Mayim represents water. And that's actually what that word is. It's kind of like Bayt in the Abaryt. Bayt represents house. Mayim represents water. And it means disorder. Disorder. It also means mighty or blood. It can represent blood as well. Blood. The next one we're going to do is the seed. The seed, which represents Nun. Nun, which represents a seed, but it's seen in R in the pagan English or English alphabet as N. Nun. Like I said, it represents the seed. It means to continue, because you continue your lineage through the seed. It also means heir, see, because that's what a seed is. And then it also means son. That's why Yahusha, by Nun, or who we call Husha, which means deliverance, by Nun, he was the son of continuance. That's what his dad's name was, to be an heir or a son. That's what they named it. The next one, Samak. Samak. It's a simple S in the Abaryt. It means thorn. It means to grab, to hate, and to protect. Now let those sink in right quick. And we're going to move forward. The next one we're going to do, look at that. The Ayin, YAHUAH. It represents an A. That's key in the knowing the names and things like that we're going to go into. It represents an I. To watch. To know. Yahweh says, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. Shade. It's the Ayin. That's crazy. It's an I. The next one. And I'm keeping them simple like this so they won't be confused, and you'll know. This is the pi. Some people say the pay, but it's the pi. This is the pi. It represents the letter P, and it is a mouth. It's a mouth. It means to blow, to scatter. Edge. The next one. This is one of my favorites as well. This is the Zada. The Zada. The Zada. It represents TZ. Very key in the words like Zadik, which means righteousness. Haaretz ends in TZ. So when you see me spell the earth and I spell Aretz, A-R-A-T-Z, that's why, because it ends with the Zada. It represents a man on side or on his side. It means to wait. Chose. That's why you're Zadik or righteous, because Yahuwah chose you. Snare. Hunt. The next one we're going to do. Cough. Cough. It represents a Q. And you can also see it like this. So for understanding, I want to give you both of them, because sometimes you'll see it like that. But when I teach it, it's going to go like this. It's going to look like this. The cough. The cough. It represents sun on the horizon. It means to condense. Circle. Time. Time. The next one is a little tricky. It's a head. So we're going to do this right here. That is a Rosh. That is Rosh. It represents the R. Look how the R became that. Look, man, I'm telling you, the ancient Phoenicians, our people, who were Shemitic, who were from the sons of Shem, taught the Yabanim, which are the Greeks, taught the Yabanim, taught the other nations their tongues. We taught them their Alaph-Bayt, and then they changed it to the Alaph-Bayt. That's what you have to do research on and learn, that the earliest writings came from the Phoenicians. That's us. We are the ancient Phoenicians. Hallelujah. We are the sons of Shem, which bore Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. You got to understand. So the Rosh is the head of a man. It means first. That's why they say Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, which means head of the year. It actually should be in Abib and not in the 7th month of YAHUAH. It should not be there. First, the first means the first. So Abib, it means first, top, beginning. And it represents the head. It's the head. The next one, Shin. It represents an SH. Shin. 2 front teeth. That's the symbol. And it means sharp. Press. Eat. And 2. The last one. YAHUAH YAHUSHA for this one. Sign of the covenant. The top. It is a T. Some people put a TH, but it is a T. It is a T. The top. It's cross sticks. Not the pagan cross, but cross sticks. Cross sticks represent a mark. That's why theirs is a false mark. A mark. A sign. A signal. A signal. And a monument. And a monument. Look at that. And remember, there are 22 characters. 22 characters in the Abaryt. So now that I've given you those, we're going to get into the words next. So now that I've given you those, sink those in, learn them. Learn what their meanings is. Learn the sounds they make. Ayin, it's the A sound. P sound. Learn those, because we're going to learn how to do these words when they touch and the understanding behind them. Hallelujah.